And so, as you complete this round of your sun salutation, we'll all join up in down dog. And as you arrive in downward dog, take your time to get there. Let it be organic. And then we'll sink down into child's pose. Now rock your weight side to side, feeling into your hips sinking toward the earth. Breathing in, breathing out. Now, lift up and look forward towards your hands. Drill all 10 fingers down into the floor. Lengthen out through your arms. And then walk your hands over to the right. Big stretch for the left side body. Take a deep breath into those left side ribs. And then, thank you. And then back to center and over to the opposite side. Taking your time to arrive today in a way that feels organic. Making each pose your own as always. And then bring your hands back to center, sink your hips one more time. Push the floor forward with your hands, elongating your spine. And then soften your arms. Bring your palms together behind the back of your head. So you press down into your elbows and get a nice stretch from your elbows to your armpits. Yeah. Now feel your body fill up with breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Become acquainted with your breath today. And then begin to breathe into your heart center. As if you could breathe into that space in the back body right behind the heart. And invite the breath there and see it expand out through your whole body. Just like on Tuesday, we'll see it radiate out through the whole body. So from that introduction of the breath through the back body, right the back side of the heart, see it spread out with each breath getting bigger and bigger, moving through every cell in the body. And then, as you're ready, filled with breath, filled with this radiant breath, press down into your arms, rise up into table. We'll come for one cat-cow, belly button towards spine, chin toward chest. Inhale, soften belly toward the earth, lift head and tail. And then on your next exhalation, let's come to seated. So you can spin your legs to one side or just cross your legs and come back. Rock your weight a little bit side to side, feeling into your sits bones, feeling into the foundation beneath you. Open your hands. And then close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Bring your left hand out in front as if it's holding an offering, and then cup your right hand over the top. Something precious there in your hands. Bring your cupped hands in front of your heart. And just like on Tuesday, begin to imagine a tiny point of light there inside your hands. And with each breath, see it begin to grow to a radiant ball of light. You can imagine it any color or texture or size that you like. And with each breath, see it expand just a little more. And a little more. And this is like our intention. So we choose an intention to decide how we want to show up in the world, what we want to bring to the world around us, what we want to radiate out in our energy. So begin to allow your hands to come a little bit wider as this orb of light grows. Slow motion with breath, bigger and bigger until the hands begin to part. And maybe now you can imagine this orb of light between your hands as big as your torso. So your hands are as wide as your shoulders or more. Breathe into it. And now just for a moment, see what happens if you imagine this energy between your hands of radiance. Imagine what happens. Begin to bring your hands a little closer and see if you feel any resistance. See if you feel that energy. Maybe bring your hands all the way back so that they're just barely, not quite yet touching. Almost, but not quite. Maybe until you can feel the heat of your other hand. Just notice what that's like. And then inhale and begin to grow that radiant light out more and more with each breath until your arms spread beyond the frame of your torso, nice and wide, breathing it in, radiating out what you're here for, right? Your purpose, your intention. Big, wide arms. And then see this orb encompassing your whole body. It's moving in all directions. It's a big round ball of radiant light encompassing you, encompassing beneath the floor and over your head. And you can imagine this energy sphere that you actually walk around in every day, moving out to those around you. And if you don't believe me, figure out a way to walk into a room after an argument and see if you can't feel the energy of that in the room. And then on your next exhalation, you can begin to allow your hands to float back. Easy does it through the orb or bringing the orb back down, nice and small between your cupped hands again at the heart space. Hold it there, precious at the heart. And then turn your palms, placing this energy in your heart, sealing in your intention and this ability to affect everyone around you, this ability to radiate out the energy that you bring. And on your next exhalation, just notice how that feels in the body. Then draw your chin towards your chest. Ease your eyes open. Inhale, arms and gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart. Give your palms a little press, as like a nod to your intention. And then we'll come up to table. And from your table pose one more time, cat and cow. Exhaling, belly button towards spine, chin towards chest, press down into the hands. And then inhale, soften belly toward the earth with head and hands. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. One more time, cat. And cow. And coming to neutral, since we've outed ourselves and you know the sun salutation because we do it all the time, we just never call it that. We're going to do a couple framed beginning to end so we have a clear container for what a sun salutation is. Turn your toes under, walk your hands forward a few inches and rise up, downward facing dog. Sinking the heels down, allow that stretch in the calves, in the hamstrings. Maybe it feels nice and stretched out already because you've been here a couple of times. So let's lift up onto the balls of our feet and send your sits bones up toward the ceiling. Let go of the weight of your head. Soften your heels down, down. On your next inhalation, send your right leg up into the sky, sink the left heel, and we'll step the right foot up between the hands. Left foot follows, standing forward bend. Release the weight of the head, the weight of the torso, soften your knees. Inhale, rise up through really bent legs or chair pose, your choice, all the way to mountain pose. Thumbs at sternum. So we begin here. Root down into both feet. So pick up your toes, spread them wide to really feel into your foundation. Roll your shoulders a couple of times. And then from here, set your intention again. Remember it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Release the hands. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the earth. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back to downward dog. And we'll stay here for 3 breaths. Inhale, right leg up into the sky. Exhale, right foot up between the hands. Inhale, left knee to the ground. Exhale, rise in a low lunge. Inhale, hands float back. Exhale, back to plank. Inhale, lower halfway. Exhale, upward dog. Inhale, downward dog. 3 breaths. You can always take a child's pose here too. Left leg floats up into the sky. When you're ready to exhale, left foot steps between the hands. Right knee comes to the ground. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Exhale, return. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower half. Cobra or up dog, your choice. And downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Peek up between your hands, step up or float up to standing forward bend, releasing the weight of the spine, soften the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up through bent knees to mountain pose, circle hands to heart. That's one version of the sun salutation. You can saw all those little modifications you can make. From here, soften your shoulders down, and then we're gonna bend the knees, tap the floor, rise up in chair. Dive in, standing forward bend, just another variation. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands plant, step, hop, or walk back to plank pose. And now we lower knees, chest, and chin, another variation. No one loves this, it's called crocodile. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And from your downward dog, wag out your tail and pedal out any tension in the legs. Take your time, no rush. Broad across the tops of the shoulders. Left leg in the sky. Sink the right heel. We'll sweep the left foot up between the hands. Right heel comes to the ground. Rise in warrior one. From your warrior one, hips square to the front, shoulders square to the front. Take a deep breath in, expand. And exhale, hands back to the earth. Step back to plank. On your exhalation, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. 2 more breaths here. Right leg in the sky. Reach, reach, reach. When you're ready to exhale, right foot spins up between the hands. Left heel spins to the ground. Rise up, warrior one. Settle in. 1 more breath, expand. And spin the hands back to the ground, stepping back to plank. Knees, chest, and chin. To upward dog. To downward dog. Sink the heels. Root into the hands. And breathe. Peek up between the hands, step, hop, or float up to standing forward bend. Releasing the crown, releasing the torso. Inhale, rise and chair. Exhale, spin the hands all the way around to the heart. That's just 2 versions of the sun salutation. Right into the feet. Now, because Monday's a full moon, let's play a little bit and we'll see the difference in the moon salutation since we're playing this way. Inhale, lift your right leg.
Lift your right leg. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put your mouth up and step back. Turn toward the long edge of the mat. Pick up that right leg and step it back up to the top. Maybe, actually, everybody turn so they can see, or switch your mat, because we're gonna be, you might wanna turn in, you might wanna turn in, otherwise you won't be able to see, right? So we're gonna step out in a way that you can see, or turn your mat, that's perfect. So we may be left, we may be right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, spin the hands to the heart. So we're moving through a moon salutation. Open your arms wide, and it doesn't matter which way you're facing. Turn your left toes toward the short edge of the mat. Sink your left knee into warrior two. On an exhalation, right hand sinks, left hand reaches up and over. For today, touch your heart with your left fingertips. Reach your left arm high, and then inhale. Draw the energy of your intention out of your heart and reach up through your left hand, sparkle your fingers out, radiating. And from here, we'll straighten the front leg and wind all the way around into triangle pose. This is the moon salutation. Reach up through the right hand. And from here, we'll continue to flow. Sweep the right hand down. Step your back foot in. Hands come to the ground. And about 6 to 12 inches for that back foot, so the whole foot comes to the ground. This is pyramid pose. Pour out over your front leg, releasing the crown of the head. Root down into the both feet. Big stretch. Notice how different that is. In down dog, we get some great hamstring stretch, but for some reason, this is a whole other ballgame. So rooting down into both feet, you can pull the mat apart between the feet. Place a little bend in that front knee. And then straighten the front leg. From here, pick up your back foot, step it out to a lunge, and pause the lunge for a breath. Walk the hands around to the long edge of the mat, sinking toward the left, and pause and side lunge. Stay here. There's some other options. We'll get to those later. From here, let's sink a little deeper, finding that ringing out of the left hip crease and the stretching of the right adductors. Maybe, maybe not. And then we'll come into center, forward fold, wide angle forward fold. You may feel you want to drop your heels out a little farther in this pose, and that's perfectly fine. Release the crown of the head. One more breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk the hands over toward the right foot. Bringing out the right hip crease, stretching out the left adductors. And feel into that awesome stretch. You can draw the muscles of your left thigh up. Root down into both feet. And then exhaling, walk your hands around your right foot. Coming into the lunge. Take a deep breath. And from here, step your left foot in, coming to pyramid pose. So left foot steps in far enough so the whole foot is rooted down. Pause here, stay to allow this deep stretch to deepen. Deep stretch to deepen, that was a need of the thesaurus apparently. As we reach the crown of our head forward toward the front foot. Elongate. And then it's a little challenging, but we're going to pick up our left foot, step it out. So we're preparing for triangle pose. Begin to straighten the front leg. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right leg, and then slide your right hand up at least to your knee or the top of your thigh. Lift your left hand up to the sky, easing our way into triangle pose. Then reach forward through the crown of the head and come into deeper version of triangle for you. You can press the inside of that right arm into the inside of the right leg and maybe wind the left arm a little farther open. And from your triangle pose, elongate one more time from tail to crown. And then begin to bend the front knee and wind it all the way around into exalted warrior. Bring the right fingertips to touch your heart, elbow points up. Tap into that intention, that which you want to radiate out into the world. And then inhale, reach the right arm up with the fingers spread wide, radiating out. And then on your exhalation, we'll straighten the right leg, turn toward the long edge of the mat. Arms are wide, 5-point star. Pause and 5-point star. And then heel and toe your feet a little bit closer, and then take a hop, your feet together. Palms come together or set together. Pause there for one moment in the center of your mat. And then turn to face the front of the mat. That's a moon salutation. So we got a couple of different versions of the sun salutation and the moon salutation, so you can feel the difference. Now, back to our regular scheduled program. As you're ready, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, tap the ground, chair pose. On an exhale, root down into the feet and feel into that groundedness that comes from picking up your toes, spreading them wide, really root into your feet. Even just the same kind of focus we had on that energy at the beginning, focus on the rooting, the grounding of the bottoms of your feet. And then maybe even see some roots grow out in all directions from the bottoms of your feet. Sit down a little deeper, find your edge. Now, inhale, sparkle your fingertips out a little bit and come up a little higher. Not all the way. And then exhale, sink down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink. One more time, inhale, rise. Exhale, sink. Bring your hands to your heart, softening the arms at least, keeping the legs fired up. From here, let's root down into your left foot. Inhale, rise up, straightening the left foot, lift the right leg, and step the right foot back into crescent legs. Inhale, arms down to go up. Find your edge. Pausing in crescent pose, broad across the shoulders, collarbones. Draw your chin in toward your chest slightly if you're going to stay straight up and down here for a moment. Imagine this straight line from your tailbone up to the crown of your head. Rooted in the feet still. And then on your next exhalation, let's sweep our hands behind our back. Clasp, roll the shoulders open, lift the heart. And then exhale, come up, slow motion, begin to straighten that front leg in a wider than normal pyramid pose. Let the arms rise as the crown sinks. Slow motion. And then on your exhalation, let's sweep the hands to the ground. Draw the right knee to the ground. Plant the right hand, heel and toe your left foot over toward the long edge of the mat. If this is a happy, healthy left knee, you can roll onto the long edge of the foot, but keep the foot pressing down into the floor first, so you roll into the long edge of the foot rather than twist the ankle. So if you press down in the foot, then roll onto the edge of the foot, we'll keep this from bending so much. If we just turn, we're turning our ankle. So see if you can keep that all in one piece there, as if you're moving your foot and your knee all at the same time. That's shape, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Press into the right hand, bring your left hand to your left thigh for a moment and press it out if it feels okay. If it's still planted, just press it right on top to turn your torso more. So there's a lot of actions that can be happening here. Turn your torso and then inhale, lift your left arm up. Lengthen through the crown of the head. A little more, let that left arm fall back behind you. Maybe, maybe not. And then exhale, wind the left hand back to the ground. Bring the sole of the left foot back to the ground. And from here, lift your right knee, step your left foot back to plank. From your plank pose, let's take 3 push-ups or skip them or do them with knees down, your choice. On an exhale, we'll lower half. Inhale, press to the top. Exhale, lower half. Inhale, press to the top. Exhale, lower half. Inhale, press to the top. Lift your tail, downward dog. Nod your head, yes. Gently turn your chin side to side. Inhale up high to the tiptoes. Stretch your sits bones up toward the ceiling and then sink the heels even more. Inhale up high to the tiptoes. Stretch your sits bones high and then sink the heels down low. One more breath here.
Then peek up between the hands, step, hop, or float up to standing forward bend. Releasing all the weight of the head. Inhale, chair pose. Find your edge. You know you love this one. Thighs are parallel. We can see our toes in front of our knees. Sitting back. It can be a nice high one, just a very slight one, or it can be nice and deep. You choose any of the versions. We'll listen to our organic bodies in this moment. Now on your next exhalation, we're gonna sink a little lower. Inhale, reach up just a little higher, just a couple inches. Exhale, sink a little lower. Inhale, reach up. Root down into the feet as you sink. And inhale, rise up, pressing the right leg straight, lifting the left knee. Hands can come to heart. Long hold for the arms. Shoulders can get a little roll to challenge your balance. And then we'll step that left foot back into crescent. Spin the arms down to go up. Crescent pose. If your arms are feeling tired, feel free to take them out. Sinking more toward the 90-degree angle in the front knee, rooting more in the back foot. One more breath. Spin the arms behind the body, clasp. Now put the opposite finger on top, so clasp the wonky way for you. And then roll your shoulders back, lift your heart, lean back, look up. Find your edge. Inhaling, come up slow motion, begin to straighten that front leg and fold. Slow motion. Letting the arms rise as the head sinks. Inhaling, sweep the hands to the ground. Left knee comes down, right foot, heels, and toes over to the long edge of the mat. We check in, happy, healthy right knee. We can roll onto the long edge of the foot, keeping that ankle flexed, or keep the foot pressing downward. Anywhere you are, bring your right hand to your top of your right thigh and press down. If the foot's flat, reach out to the side, press outward toward the knee a little bit. And then roll your shoulder open, look up. And then when you're ready, open that right arm. Maybe, maybe not. Press down into the left hand, pushing the floor slightly toward the left. Notice any tension building in areas it doesn't need to. So you're dumping tension into your shoulders and your neck. Expand, radiate out from center. And then exhale, right hand back to the ground on the inside. We'll step that right knee back next door to the left knee and take a knee down plank on purpose. So knees down, think about where your knees are, your hips and your shoulders. So if your hips are too high, it's not anything for the core. So knees, hips, and shoulders. When you're ready, elbows draw back toward the waist, lower all the way to the ground. Let's get in that nice shoulder stretch from Cobra pose. Arms are out wide, a wide cobra. And tuck your chin towards your chest, root into the tops of the feet. On an inhalation, press down into the fingers, lift up. And exhale, bend your right elbow, look to the left. Inhale, lift and center. Exhale, bend the left elbow, look to the right. Inhale, center. Lower all the way down. Play with walking your hands a little closer. And still stay engaged with the tops of the feet. Chin tucks toward chest as we elongate the back of the neck. And then we press and rise. Straight arms, shoulders roll back. Maybe arms don't go straight here. That's okay because we shorten the distance. See what that's like. And then exhale, lower. Maybe you can walk your hands a little closer, maybe not. Maybe you want them out farther. You decide. From here, tuck the chin, root the tops of the feet, and rise. One more time. Shoulders are away from you, so not up here, they're down. Exhale, lower. And press back to downward facing dog. Right leg floats up into the sky. Reach it up, up, up. Then bend the knee and stack the hip. Reach that right foot way over to the left. Sink in the left heel low down. Rooted in both hands. And on your exhalation, we'll wind the right knee to tap the right elbow. Tap. Inhale, send it up. Takes a lot of strength, so be patient with you. Bend that knee and stack the hip once more. Now with patience, with strength, on your next exhalation, begin to wind the knee into center. Hug it up like plank pose with that knee tucked, and then send it straight up. And then bend the knee and stack the hip. Take a deep breath in, expand up through the right knee and root down through the hands, the left foot. On your next exhalation, wind that right knee all the way over toward the right and then to the left to tap the left elbow. Pause. Inhale, send it straight up. Exhale, right foot comes back to the ground. Let's take a child's pose, big toes together, knees apart. Rooting down, allowing the breath to flow through your whole person. Feel free to take a side stretch here if you like. Get in both directions. And then, as you are ready, we'll rise back up into downward facing dog. Left leg floats high, right heel sinks. On an exhalation, actually bend your knee and stack your hip. We got to get that in. Reach that left knee up, 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 sink the right heel down. Spread your fingers wide. Breathe down into the belly. On an exhale, spin that left knee to tap the left elbow. Tap. Inhale it up. Bend the knee and stack the hip. On your next exhale, spin the left knee around to come to center in plank pose. Hug it up. Inhale, send it high. Bend the knee and stack the hip. Root the right heel, lower, lower. On your next exhalation, wind that knee all the way around to tap the right elbow. Pause. Inhale, send it up. Sink the left foot next door to the right foot. On your next exhalation, walk your hands back to your feet. Hold the elbows. Inhale, chair. Fingers spread wide, radiate out through the fingers. As you inhale, rise a little bit. Exhale, sink. Pulsating inside of your chair once more. Up, down, and then inhale up one more time. Dig deep and sink. Float hands to heart. Fingertips touch the ground, rise up. Exhale, dive into the pool, standing forward bend. Walk your hands forward to plank and lower half. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Breathe, smooth and flowing breath. From here, take a child's pose. So when you're ready, return to downward dog. Lift up your toes and spread them wide, sinking them down when you're ready. Bend your knees a lot, and then lift your sits bones toward the sky to straighten the legs. Now lift the heels, keeping the legs straight. Lift the tailbone, up, 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 and sink the heels. On your next exhalation, let the heels rise and reach forward into plank pose through the crown of the head. So from plank pose, let's roll the heels to the left, right arm to the sky. Open out across the front of that right shoulder, letting the right arm drop back behind you today. And then exhale, right arm down. Yeah, feel free to use your knee down version too. Heels roll to the left or right knee comes to the ground and left arm to the sky. Open across the front of the shoulder. Next exhale, roll it back. From here, let's take one push-up. Shift forward, lower half. Inhale, press to the top, and we'll roll our heels to the left. Right arm to the sky. Now stay here or pick up your right foot and stomp it forward up in line with your hip. Once you've arrived here, lift the heart, lean back. Allow your left hip to shift under slightly, right hip to shift open. You can even roll onto the long edge of that right foot a little bit if you want. That's a happy, healthy right knee. You know what it feels like to keep that ankle flexed now. Bring your right fingertips to your heart, tap into your intention, and then inhale, expand, radiate it out on that right arm, straighten it out, reach, reach, reach behind you, and then spin the right arm back to the ground. Step back to plank. Roll the heels to the right, lift the left arm up to the sky, let the left shoulder open, and we'll stomp that left foot up in front of the right leg, the thigh somewhere along the way, and lean back, maybe rolling onto the long edge of that left foot, maybe not. And lean back, open across the heart. Offer your heart upward. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, draw your left fingertips to tap your heart. Remembering your intention and what you want to radiate out into the world as you expand that left arm out through space. And then on your next exhale, we'll spin that left hand back to the ground. And from here, shift forward on your toes, lower half. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Smooth breath in, smooth breath out. On an exhalation, let's walk our hands back to our feet. Releasing the crown of the head. Inhale, chair. Exhale, float hands to heart. As you press the legs straight, lift the right foot off the ground. Reach down for the right ankle. So we're going to use a little bit of dancer pose as a prep for where we're going. Yeah, feel free to move to something to balance. Roll your right shoulder open. You've noticed we've been working that openness in the shoulders. So push the foot into the hand into the foot, and ease yourself into any version of dancer pose that feels good today. Left arm rises. Maybe we push the back foot into the hand, lifting that thigh toward parallel with the earth. Roll the right shoulder open, lift the heart up toward the left fingertips. Lengthen the back of the neck. So if you leave the chin, sometimes we can crunch there. And then when you're ready, we'll release. Right foot down. Pedal out some tension if you have any there. And on your next exhale, tap the ground, chair pose, sinking low. Find your chair pose. Breathe into it. And as we rise, we'll lift that left leg. From here, left hand sinks toward left ankle. So we played a lot with dancer last week, so hopefully it's still feeling familiar. Begin to lift that right hand. Today it's just sort of a preparatory pose. Push the foot back into the hand. Lift the heart. Playing with dancer. It's a nice back bend if you let it be bowl shaped. Some people like it nice and straight. That's fine too. Still getting that openness in the shoulder we're looking for. Stretching the thigh. And then on your next exhalation, step it down. Hands come back to heart. Remembering your intention. Let's step our feet as wide as the mat. Reach arms behind. One more time, opening the heart. Lift
the gaze, lift the heart, lean back and take a big forward fold as knuckles rise toward the sky and head draws toward the earth. Rock your weight a little bit side to side. Sweep the hands to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, walk your hands forward into plank. Step your feet in to hips with distance. And when you're ready, lift your right foot off the ground. Inhale, send it up into the sky. Exhale, bring the right toes to tap the back of the left heel. Inhale, send it up. Exhale, right toes touch the back of the left heel. Inhale, send it up. Last time, tap. And lift it high. Bend the knee and stack the hip. Open, open, open. Right knee to right elbow. And send it up. Skip the middle. Let's go right knee to left elbow. Straighten the right leg. Root into the right hand. Lift the left hand. So this is fallen star. Keep both legs straight. Open across the heart. Radiating out from center like a star. Like that brilliant orb of energy. One more breath. Left hand spins back. Right foot steps back. We wind up in plank. Lift the left foot off the ground. Pull yourself to three-legged down dog. Left to tap the back of the right in plank. Inhale, send it up. Exhale to tap. Inhale, send it up. Exhale to tap. Inhale, send it high and stack. Sink the right heel down and breathe. Smooth breath flowing in, smooth breath flowing out. And on your exhale, we'll wind that left knee to tap left shoulder, elbow, and inhale, send it up. Bend the knee and stack the hip. We're gonna skip the middle and bring that left knee all the way around to the right elbow. Send it out straight on the long edge of the left foot over to the right. Right hand lifts, legs stay straight. Fallen star. Radiate out from center. Smooth breath. Invite the breath. Invite that life force to flow through you. Firing up. And right hand spins back, left foot steps back. Knees come to the ground. Let's hug ourselves around our thighs. Chest toward thighs, forehead toward the earth. Bring your hands back behind your feet if possible, on top of the arches or on the sacrum, whatever feels better to you, whatever's accessible, and clasp. Wherever you are, tighten up that clasp so you can get a good stretch of your shoulders away from your jawline. Rock a little side to side. So we radiate it out, and sometimes we have to go back inward to fill up, to wring out. So smooth out the breath here. We got one more good round ahead of us. So going a little deeper. And when you're ready, reach your arms forward, plant your palms, rise up to table pose. One easy cat-cow, belly button toward spine, chin toward chest. And soften. Heart toward the earth, belly toward the earth, lift head and tail. And then back into one more cat, rounding. And neutral, step back to plank. Here we go, right foot lifts off the ground, send it up into the sky. From here, let's bend the knee and stack the hips, sink the left heel. Down, down. Let your chest press back towards your standing thigh. And then begin to wiggle your right foot so you can catch it in your peripheral vision. Maybe, maybe not. Reach it way over. And now we're gonna wind that right knee to tap right elbow in plank. Tap. And send it up high. Bend the knee and stack the hip. Let's take it to center. Hug it up and send it high. Inhale, right knee to tap left elbow. Tap and hold, one breath. Inhale, send it high and restack. Now, once more, look for that right foot. So give it a wiggle. Maybe you can see it in your peripheral vision. Look up towards your hands and come onto your right fingertips. Let the right foot drop behind you. Flip your dog. Reach the right arm skyward. Press into both feet. Lift the hips. You can look down at your left hand or up at your right hand, radiating out from center. One more breath. Spin the right hand back to center. Bring your knees to the ground. Tuck in one more time, winding your chest over your thighs, forehead to the ground into rabbit pose. Maybe hands can clasp behind you again for a stretch in the arms. And rock a little side to side. If you're not feeling enough stretch in your arms, you can roll up a little bit toward the top of your head, as if you were trying to come to a head, up under the top of your head. You won't move too far with your hands clasped on top of your arches of your feet, but check it out. You might get a little more arm stretch, a little more spine stretch. And then when you're ready, hands plant out in front of you. You know where they need to go for plank pose. Rising up and plank. Left foot lifts off the ground. Three-legged down dog. Bend the knee and stack the hip. See if you can catch that left foot in your peripheral vision. Press your torso back towards your standing thigh. Release the crown of the head. Left knee journeys toward left elbow for a tap. And left foot comes up into the sky. Left knee to center, hug it up. And up into the sky. Left knee toward right elbow for a hold for a breath. Inhale, send it up. Bend the knees, stack the hip. Look for that left foot. See if you can see it. And then peek forward. Come onto the fingertips of the left hand. Sink the left foot to the ground. Flip your dog. Open, open, open. Lift your hips, lift your heart. Radiating out from center. So in this version, your right leg is straight, your left knee is bent. Maybe both legs are bent, that's okay too. Exhale, spin the left hand back to the ground. And we'll take 3 push-ups, lower half. Inhale, press to the top. Exhale, lower half. Inhale, press to the top. Last one, lower half. Inhale, press to the top. Lift your tail, downward dog. Releasing all the way to the head, sinking your heels. Letting all that tension drain out through the crown of the head. Drain out through the palms, through the feet. One more breath. Knees come to the ground, big toes together, knees apart. Take child's pose. Palms can curl up underneath your forehead or any version that you like. Just rock your weight a little bit side to side. And then we'll press down into the floor, rising up onto our heels or spin them off to one side. And we'll bring them out in front. From here, look at your feet sitting in staff pose. Feel free to bend your knees if you need to. But sitting in staff pose, radiate out your toes. Spread them out wide. Sit up tall. Inhale, arms up. Take an easy fold. Only as far as feels good. You can soften your toes whenever you're ready. Or you can drop your fingertips between each toe, like you're clasping hand to foot. This is really good for your feet. Good idea. Cheap route is if you ever get a pedicure and keep those toe spacers and just sort of wear them around the house. Great way to spread out the toes and give you better balance, better foot health. Rock your weight a little bit side to side. On an inhalation, begin to walk your hands back up towards your hips and come lying on your back. Breathing in and out through the nose, lift up your knees and easy does it, drop them over to the right. So just an easy twist. And then drop them to the other side. Take your time to get there.
And then bring them back to center. Sit the heels down on the floor, lift up your hips and shift them to the right a few inches. Lift the legs and draw the legs over to the left. Broad across the collarbones, sink the right shoulder, smooth out the breath. Inhale, draw the knees back into center, keeping the hips right where they are. Extend the legs up, and then slow motion, if possible, bring the legs over straight to the left. Arms wide, like anchors on the floor, shoulder height, palms face down. And if you need to bend the knees, of course, do so. Exhale, knees into chest, rolling onto the back. Set the feet down, lift the hips and first put them in center. Reach your hands towards your heels, press up into an easy bridge, stretching out the low back. Chin comes toward chest. Exhale, lower down. Let the arch come back into the back, pressing the sits bones down into the earth. And then on your next exhale, press the low back into the earth. Lift the tail up, one more bridge. And lower down, easy does it. Let the arch come back on an inhale. And then exhale, belly button towards spine. Lift the hips up, up, up. Maybe clasp the hands underneath. Maybe draw the upper arm bones underneath. Root into both feet. Drag the mat toward, or the feet toward each other if you can. So we keep the thighs internally rotated. Then rock your upper arm bones under a little bit farther, maybe. Lift your hips a little bit more, maybe. Gaze is always up. Never turn your head here. And watch the rise and fall of your breath for 3 breaths. Unclasp the hands, unroll the shoulders, and roll down one vertebra at a time. Slow motion. From here, with feet planted in center, lift your hips and shift them over to the left 3 or 4 inches. Lift the knees up like that chair that's not there, and arms are out wide, palms face down. Knees draw over to the right. Inhale, lift the knees back up in center. Actually, keep the hips where they are off center, and then straighten out the legs. Remember, you can bend the knees anywhere along the way if you need to, and draw the legs over to the right. Revolved abdomen pose. So be careful as you enter in, bending the knees as much as you need to. And then once you've arrived, notice if your left shoulder has departed from the floor. And if it has, just encourage it to sink. Root into your fingertips of your right hand and push just a little bit toward the right. See how that deepens the pose. Smooth out the breath. Breathe down into the belly. And then when you're ready, lift the legs up or bend the knees to draw them into the chest, your choice. Bring the feet to the floor, shift your hips into center. And from here, let your feet move 12 to 18 inches apart. Plant the heels on the floor and then let your feet flop out to the sides. Bring your hands at least 12 inches from the body, if not more. Take up some space radiating out from your center. Rock your weight a little bit side to side as you settle into Shavasana. And I always encourage you not to skip this. This is probably the most important pose of yoga, especially here in the US where we don't sit still, where we don't slow down. So allow this Shavasana to be this space for you to tap into all the goodness that was locked inside of every one of those asanas, every one of those poses. And Shavasana is like the thing that helps all of that pent up energy in our bodies to turn into nutrients. And just stretched it all out, worked it all out, now let it be still. So breathe in a smooth, deep breath, and like a wave in the body, see that breath enter like you could see it being relaxation.
softness, surrender. Breathe it in and soften your whole head, your face. Breathe it out and soften your jaw and your shoulders down to fingertips. Breathe it in and soften the whole torso. Breathe it out and soften all the way down the legs. Surrender now completely. And gently now invite a deep and flowing breath. Notice how your body feels now. Wiggle fingers and wiggle toes. Bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. And mindfully roll to your right side, pausing for a breath. Gently press yourself up to seated, eyes closed. We'll bring our palms together in that cup shape right in front of our heart one more time, just to remember what that energy feels like. You see that ball of energy radiating between our hands out in all directions, and then flatten out the hands over the heart, bringing it into the heart. See that radiant light fill your whole body. Exhale, chin toward chest. Ease the eyes open. Inhale, arms down to go up. Exhale, hands to heart. Namaste.